Your mind is creating problems that don't exist yet. Sarah is lying in bed at 2 a.m. She has a presentation tomorrow. She's prepared. She knows the material. But her brain won't stop running scenarios. What if she forgets her opening line? What if someone asks a question she can't answer? What if her voice shakes? What if everyone thinks she's incompetent? Each thought spawns 3 more. And now she's not just about the presentation. She's worrying. She's exhausted. But her mind keeps spinning. How do I make this stop? Here's what's happening. Your brain is designed to predict threats, to simulate possible futures so you can prepare for danger. But somewhere along the way, that survival mechanism got hijacked. Now it's not just protecting you from real threats. It's inventing threats, creating elaborate, worst-case scenarios that probably won't happen, and treating them like they're already real. Think of your mind like a search engine that never stops. You type in worry, and it returns 10,000 results. And then you click on one of those results, and it opens 50 more tabs. And before you know it, you have so many tabs open, the whole system slows down. You're not thinking clearly. You're not solving anything. You're just drowning in abilities. The Stoics understood this. They knew most suffering doesn't come from reality. It comes from your thoughts about reality, from the stories you tell yourself about might happen, what people might think, and developed a practice for cutting through that noise, for separating what's real from what's imagined. The first principle is simple but radical. Most of what you're worried about isn't happening right now. It's a projection, a mental movie about the future. And here's the thing about the future. It doesn't exist yet. You're suffering over something that isn't real. You're exhausting yourself fighting shadows. So the Stoic approach is to bring yourself back to the present. Not in some mystical way. Just what is actually happening right now. Not what might happen tomorrow. Not what happened yesterday. Right now. In this moment, are you safe? Are you okay? And usually the answer is yes. The crisis you're preparing for hasn't arrived. And it might never arrive. But your brain doesn't want to act that. It wants to keep planning, keep worrying, keep running simulations. Because it thinks that's useful. It thinks overthinking is preparation. But it's not. Overthinking is just anxiety dressed up as productivity. Here's the difference. Productive thinking solves problems. You identify an issue, you consider options, you make a decision, you take action. It has a beginning, middle, and end. Overthinking loops. It revisits the same concerns about reaching conclusions. It asks the same questions without accepting answers. It's mental spinning that creates the illusion of progress while keeping you stuck. And the Stoics would say, if you can't take action on it right now, let it go. Not permanently. Not pretending it doesn't matter. Just for now. Because thinking about it more isn't going to change anything. Deal with it when the time comes. But right now, in this moment, it's not your problem. This requires trust. Trust that you'll be able to handle things when they actually happen. That you don't need to rehearse every possible scenario. That you're more capable in the moment than you give yourself credit for. But most overthinkers don't trust themselves. They think if they don't plan for every contingency, they'll be caught off guard. They'll fail. They'll be exposed. But here's the truth. You've handled hard things before. You've navigated uncertainty. You've survived every worst day you've ever had. You didn't do it by perfectly predicting the future. You did it by adapting in real time. By figuring it out as you went. And you'll do it again. You don't need a script for every possible outcome. You just need to trust your ability to respond. The Stoics also taught something called negative visualization. But it's not what you think. Catastrophizing. It's deliberately imagining the worst-case scenario and then accepting it. Really accepting it. Not fighting it. not trying to prevent it, just sitting with the possibility that yes, this could happen. And if it does, I'll deal with it. Because once you accept the worst case, it loses its power over you. You're not running from it anymore. You're not spending all your energy trying to prevent something that might not even be preventable. You're free. Because fear thrives on the belief that you couldn't handle it. But when you look directly at what you're afraid of and realize it won't destroy you, the fear shrinks. You might fail the presentation. And if you do, you'll feel embarrassed, disappointed. You'll learn from it. You'll try again. It won't be end of your career. It won't define you forever. It'll just be a hard moment that passes. And knowing that, really knowing it, takes the edge off the anxiety. Another Stoic practice is distinguishing between what you control and what you don't. You control your preparation, your attitude. You don't control other people's reactions, the outcome, external circumstances. And most overthinking happens when you're trying to control things aren't yours to control. You're worried about what people will think of you. But you can't control that. You're worried about whether the opportunity will work out, but you can't guarantee that. You're worried about avoiding all mistakes. But mistakes are part of growth. You can't eliminate them. So you're exhausting yourself trying to manage variables that aren't in your hands. And the moment you focus only on what you can actually influence, the mental load lightens. Because now you're not carrying the weight of the entire universe. You're just responsible for your part, your choices, your actions, everything outside your circle of control. And that's okay. That's how life works. There's all something powerful about externalizing your thoughts. When you're overthinking, everything happens internally. The worries spiral in your head and they feel massive, overwhelming. But when you write them down, when you get them out of your mind and onto paper, something shifts. They become smaller, more manageable, less consuming. Because in your head, thoughts are infinite. They can loop forever. But on paper, they have to be specific. You have to finish the sentence, complete the thought. And often, when you articulate the worry, you realize as serious as it felt. Or it's something you've worried about 100 times before. Or it's something you can actually address instead of just ruminating about. This is why journaling helps overthinkers. It creates distance. It turns inside your skull into something you can see. Something you can evaluate. Something you can challenge. And when you challenge overthinking, when you ask, is this thought actually useful? Is it based on facts or assumptions? Is worrying about this helping me in any way? Most of the time, the answer is no. Stoics also practiced voluntary discomfort. They deliberately put themselves in challenging situations, not to punish themselves, but to build resilience, to prove to their minds that they'd handle difficulty, that they didn't need perfect conditions to be okay. And this directly combats overthinking, because a lot of overthinking is fear of discomfort, fear of uncertainty, fear of not knowing exactly how things will go. But when you've experienced discomfort and survived it, your brain learns. It learns that you're tougher than you think, that uncertainty isn't dangerous, that you can adapt, and that learning reduces the need to control everything. Because you know deep in bones that whatever comes, you'll figure it out. Another key practice is limiting input. Overthinkers often consume too much information. They read every article, consider every opinion, absorb every perspective, and all that input just feeds the overthinking machine, because now you have more variables to consider, more possibilities to worry about, more angles to analyze. But more information doesn't always lead to better decisions. Sometimes it just leads to paralysis, to confusion, to contradictory advice that leaves you more uncertain than before. So Stoics practiced selective attention. They focused on what was essential, and they ignored the rest, not out of ignorance, but out of wisdom, because not everything deserves your mental energy. You also have to recognize that some thoughts are just thoughts. They're not commands. They're not truths. They're just mental events passing through. Brain generates thousands of thoughts every day. Most of them are random, unhelpful, and you don't have to engage with all of them. When an anxious thought appears, you can notice it without grabbing onto it. Oh, there's that worry again. And then let it pass. You don't have to analyze it, argue with it. You can just let it be there and keep moving, because they only have the power you give them. And when you stop treating every anxious thought like an emergency that needs immediate attention, their grip, here's the deeper truth. Overthinking isn't actually about thinking. It's about avoiding feeling. When you overthink, you're usually trying to figure out how to prevent discomfort, how to avoid failure, how to guarantee safety. But you can't. Life doesn't offer those guarantees. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can stop trying to think your way into certainty. Because certainty is an illusion. The future is unknowable. Things will go wrong. You will face challenges. And no amount of mental rehearsal is going to eliminate that. But you don't need to eliminate it. You just need to be okay with it. To develop the inner steadiness that can handle whatever comes without needing to control it all. The Stoics called this equanimity, the ability to remain calm and centered regardless of external circumstances. And you build it by practicing in small moments, by noticing when you're spiraling and choosing to stop, by bringing yourself back to the present, by focusing on what you control, by trusting yourself to handle things as they come. And over time, the overthinking loses its hold, not because your brain stops generating anxious thoughts, but because you stop feeding them. You stop treating them like facts. You stop giving them endless attention. And eventually your mind learns that overthinking doesn't serve you. That presence is better than panic. Trust is stronger than control. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need a plan for every scenario. You just need to be here, fully, in this moment, handling what's actually in front of you. And when you live that way, when you're borrowing trouble from tomorrow, you'll find something surprising. Most of what you worried about never happens. And the things that do happen, you handle them. Just like you always have. Just like you always will. The peace you're looking for isn't in having all the answers. It's in being okay without them. And that's not something you think your way into. It's something you practice your way into, one present moment at a time.